Hello everyone, it's Maria here from pepperlyrose.blogspot.com. Thank you so much for joining me. Today I want to share with you a wedding favour and it's going to be a lidded box. Now I have not made this before, but I have it in my mind, and as per usual I will show you from start to finish and unedited, okay? So I'll start from the top. We're going to use some pool party cardstock. And we only need one sheet for this lidded box, which is fantastic. Excuse me, you'll need a bone folder. I've got some silver glitter paper. I also have some vellum. I'll just bring that over. Hang on a second. I've just got a sheet of vellum paper. And we will need some scissors, some paper snips, our stamping trimmer. We will need our scoreboard, our Simply Scored scoring tool. We're going to use our Botanical Builder Framelits dies today, as well as the beautiful Rose Garden Thinlits dies today as well. And we'll be using the precision base plate. So I'll talk about these as we go along. So what we'll do now is we'll start cutting the cardstock. So I'll bring out my my cutting tool, and what we're going to do is we're going to cut a 4.5 inch square piece of cardstock. So that will be our base. So it's 4.5 inches square. So you'll have that left over, which is great. So that's for the base. For the lid, it's going to be 4.5 inches again, but we scoot it over 1/16, which is, I'll show you what the 1/16 is. It's these one, so we have 4.5 there, and it's that one little one next to the 4.5. So it's going to be that measurement all square. So yeah, 4.5 and 1/16. I don't know how to do this because I'm a metric girl. So anyway, I'll do that as a square, and that's for the lid, okay? So I'll do that now. And this is the cardstock that's left over. So that's out of an A4 sheet of cardstock, so you can use this for another project, so that's cool. So we'll take our stamping cutter away, and I'm going to bring in my Simply Scored scoring tool, and I'll just angle it a little bit this way, and then I'll bring it back down again when I finish scoring. What we need to do with this scoring tool is we are going to score 1 inch all around, so on all 4 sides. So I've got my bone folder here, so go on the 1 inch and score down 1 inch on each four sides, each of the 4 sides. And we do the same again to our other piece as well. So both pieces are at 1 inch. And again. And that is it with our scoring, so we can put the scoreboard away. And now I'm just going to bring you back down a little bit more. That's it. Okay. Now what we need to do is burnish the score lines. So as you can see, these score lines here. So I'll just fold all on the 4 sides. Keep folding and do the same to the other one. Fold, fold, burnish, burnish, burnish. And this gives you a nice, you know, tight, oh, forgot to do this side. It gives you a nice tight look. Okay, so what we need to then grab next is our paper snips. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut up those score lines here. So I cut up, and then on each side I am going to just trim off a small notch. I'm going to notch it in, because when you fold up the box afterwards, when you put it together, it'll give you a nice clean edges. It won't have anything sticking out. So we'll do that on all 4 sides. on all 4 of those tabs. So I'll do it there too, quick trim, and do it to this one. Keep cutting. Oops, and do it there too. Straight up. And the only thing you cut is the tabs, okay? So that's this one. Trim that up. And trim that up. Okay, and then we'll do the same to the other side. Okay, trim, notch, notch, notch. You only just take off a very small amount, and it makes all the difference, because sometimes when you don't notch it in and you put the box together, the box, there's just bits sticking out of it even though you had done all the right measurements. But notching it in gives you that nice, clean, professional looking finish, which is fantastic. Oh. And there's no stamping today, it's just cutting and putting together, which is quite cute. So I'm gearing this towards wedding favours, but really you can use it for any occasion that you wish, or even as a gift box. So I'll take all that stuff away. And now we're just going to put together the box. So I'll grab my ATG and I'll just put some adhesive on the tabs. Oops. And I'll do it on all 4 tabs. And on that side, and we'll just build it up. So I've got the adhesive all on these sides, so now all you do is just build it up. And as you can see, you have a beautiful finish and nothing sticking up the top. So Fast Fuse is probably a better adhesive than ATG, but this will do because this is convenient for me, and that's what I have in my cards, you know, in my stock. But it pretty much does the same thing. So we'll now do the other part. What's going on here? Okay. Oops, and there. And there. Oops, and there's a bit there that didn't come off. Okay, and here. And here. And what we'll do now is we'll build up the walls again. Build that up again. And there and there. So now, just work out which is which. Okay, this is your base. It's just slightly smaller. So just pop it in. And there you have a beautiful lidded box. So that's a 2.5 inch square box, and it's 1 inch high. Okay, so this will make a great, I'd say a wedding favour, only because I made it to that size so you can fit 5 sugared almonds in there and maybe a small little chocolate heart or something like that if you wish. So yeah, I know I like. I love Pool Party because it kind of looks like the Tiffany colour, so it's quite sweet. I really love that colour. Okay, now we're going to do some big shot work, and I'm going to try and put everything all on the one, for the one pass. So I'll bring up my big shot. Okay, and I'll be using the magnetic platform. Okay, and we will be using today our precision base plate, which looks like this. This is not the cutting surface, this is what you put underneath, but you can put it on top of the magnetic platform. But you have to be very careful because when these two stick together, they really stick together well, and it's quite strong, so be very careful. Now this precision base plate is used for all our Thinlits, the really intricate ones. So we've got a few intricate ones here today, so I think this will be perfect. But when you put it together, make sure that when you put it together that you leave, like, I'll just take away the big shot, sorry, just so it's easier for you to see what I'm talking about. When you put it together, you have to make sure that you leave like a gap on the end, so when it comes together, you're able to pull it off. So what I do is I just put my base, my magnetic platform down there first, and then I put one end straight flush and the other. So now it's really stuck together, it's magnetized, and you have this bit here so you can easily pull that off when it's time for you to take it apart, okay? So, but make sure you do all your cutting, make sure it's along here. Do not use framelits on this precision base plate because the framelits will then warp. This is only for the intricate Thinlit dies, okay? So I'll bring up my big shot again, and what we're going to do now is we are going to cut only a small section of the rose garden Thinlits. So what I want to cut is basically this little teeny tiny flower leaf, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put down on the underside. I know it sounds weird, but I'd like to put it on the underside so when I cut it, it will not blunt the Thinlits as much. So I can't put any other cuts on this at the moment, but I'm going to use that to cut the leaf, okay? And I'm going to put then afterwards, it's not magnetic by the way, the only bit that's magnetic is just this bit, but it's not magnetic in itself, okay? And then I'm going to put the cutting plate on top, and I'm just going to crank it, excuse me, I'm going to crank it through then the big shot, okay? So I may have to do it a couple of times. 1, and then 2, and let's see how that comes up. Well, perfect, it just came right off. And all you need to do is just take off, this is quite easy. Wow, awesome. Oh, how beautiful is that? Look at that. And it is glittery, guys. I can assure you. Let's see if you can see that. There you go. It's glittery. Okay. I've got very dry skin today. So what we'll do is we'll just take our paper snips and we're just going to trim off those extra bits. But I just wanted this as an accent, so we'll put that away. Okay, and I'll put the Thinlit away. And so what we'll do next is we're going to take our vellum. I've just got some vellum paper here, and I'm going to cut, just grab my little flower, this flower here from the Botanical Builders Framelits dies. I'm just going to put that face down, and I'm going to crank it through the big shot again. Oh, and at the same time, I might as well, no, there won't be room. Don't worry about it. Okay, I'll just crank it through very quickly. And crank it through. I'll do it once. And again, backwards. Oh, and the vellum flower has been cut absolutely beautifully. Look at that. No trouble at all. The precision base plate for these dies is amazing. I highly recommend it. Okay, so that's our beautiful, delicate little flower. So I'll pop that over to the side and get rid of the paper. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to cut out a little center for that flower. So I am going to choose from the Builders Framelits dies is this center here. I know it looks like nothing much, but once it goes through, I guarantee you it'll be beautiful. So again, I'm going to use the underside of this, and I'm going to pop it through 2 times. So 1, 2, and why not 3 for good measure. And just crank it through, and then that's it with the cutting. So I'll pop that away. Oops, ha! Got stuck down, awesome, and I'll just put it back in its place. Hang on a second, I've just dropped down my Thinlits pick those up. Okay. So now, I'll take this away. It's quite, when you're taking out glitter paper, it is quite, can be quite tricky. So that's it coming out now. Just be very careful because there's bits here that are quite delicate. But I'll tell you what, cutting through with glitter paper and all this sort of stuff with the precision base plate, it makes it so much easier. And there's our centre all cut up. Isn't it beautiful? That's our centre. It's all glittery. Nice. All right. So what we'll do now is we'll bring back our beautiful little box and we're going to start decorating. Okay. So I'll grab my paper snips and I'm just going to trim off those extra bits that we don't need. So trim that off. Just round it off and trim that off here too. Just make it look round and complete. And there you go. Okay, beautiful. All right, so now what I'm going to do is just do a mock layout of how I want it to look on my box. And I'll do it like that. It's just nice and delicate, isn't it beautiful? So what I'll grab now is some glue. I might grab, yeah, I'll grab some glue dots actually. That will look a lot better. Just hold on 1 second. I'll just grab some glue dots, if I can find them. Oh, glue dots, where are you? Oh, look, you know what? I'll just use my PVA glue and I'll use a dimensional under that as well, just to give it a bit of pop. So I'll just use my PVA glue because I've got a stack of it. It's going to last me for several years by the looks of it. Okay, so now what I will do is this. I will bring up those petals, okay, just bring those up, and what I'm going to do now is just glue down just that little portion, okay, so I'll glue that down onto the vellum, so I'll just glue the vellum right there, and I'll just bring those up too, why not, just give it a bit of dimension. Now with vellum you can see the adhesive, but because we've got this area here now that's hidden by this centre, you can glue it down with a glue dot or a dimensional. So what I'll do now is I'll do another mock layout. So I'll stick down this leaf, but only the bottom section of it. So I'll put a small amount of glue right there, okay, and then I'm going to pop it like over here, just pop it there, just hold on to it for a couple of seconds because it is a liquid glue and that should be okay. And then I'll grab a dimensional and I'll see how it fits underneath. Just hang on 1 second. Yep, should be fine. So I'll grab a dimensional and I'll pop it underneath this flower there. Actually, I might put do it in half. I might put that one back and I'll do it in half. I'll just do it a part dimensional. Just cut this a little bit. So I'll just cut, say, that much and that much. Just the edges. So once these dimensionals are finished, don't throw them out because these edges can be used for smaller parts too. So everything has a use. So I'll just put this tiny bit of dimensional underneath where it cannot be seen. And then I'm just going to pop it up onto the box. I'll just give this a bit of a push up, just give it a bit of a lift. Okay. And there you have it. This would make a cute, an elegant actually, not cute, but an elegant wedding favour. Okay. Actually, you know what? I'm going to stick in a jewel. Hang on a second. I'll just go and grab a jewel or a pearl. I don't know. I'll have a look and see. Maybe a pearl I think would suit that much better. I'll just have a quick look at my pearls. Yep. We've got some beautiful pearls. Might stick a pearl in the centre just to give it a bit of softness and elegance. Just grab my paper snips and I'll just use that to lift it off underneath. Oh, that's just beautiful. It just adds the right touch. And there you have it, guys. Wow. Much better with the pearl. Just give it up close so you can see all of it in its glory. And that will make a beautiful, stunning wedding favour that you can use. And this fits 5 sugared almonds or some chocolates in there to use for a wedding. Isn't that great? So I hope you like it, guys. This is in Pool Party. And I hope you've enjoyed this project. If you've got any questions at all, please don't hesitate to let me know. And all my details will be on the blog. And also you can go to my online store if you wish to purchase any of these products at Stampin Up, pepperlyrose.stampinup.net. Okay, guys, have a wonderful day and thanks for watching. Bye.